Okay, and we are live everywhere. Uh, let's wait for a couple of people to come in. So we're live on YouTube, both YouTube and both Twitter for Virtual Bacon BaconDAO, as well as our Discord. So welcome everyone to this week's BaconDAO community call. The community calls typically start at I think this is 6 p.m. UTC or 11 a.m. PST. So an hour earlier than my usual call, but every Sunday we go through not just my analysis, but we do a kind of sit down call with the rest of the community, specifically our three head contributors, Viperr, Luke, and Mahi. So we'll go over kind of everything they're watching, everything they posted, and seeing the trending narratives and gems for this week. So Viperr and Luke are kind of diving in to a lot of other chains and EVM layer one protocols and narratives. And we're doing a lot of NFT mints as well. So we'll talk about those. And Mahi, he's been super into the Polkadot / Kusama ecosystem. So he'll have a lot to say in that. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. We'll try to limit this call again to about 1 hour. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. We usually start off with Viperr. So Viperr, take it away. What do you have? What do you have in mind for this week? What's hot?
What's up, guys? So I kind of want to just focus on NFTs this week, and especially with this market, it's kind of hard to. I can never really suggest anything good with BSC because it's just shit coins. And with the market just bleeding the way it is, in my opinion, a lot of tokens have been getting some backlash or just dumping. Except I will say AVAX really is holding strong, even when Bitcoin dumped AVAX and AVAX tokens. They only experienced like a 3% drop. So although I still hate AVAX and I'm not a maxi, that's pretty bullish for AVAX. As far as NFTs, like I said, NFT hype is slowly starting to die down a little bit. I will say that on ETH, I haven't really seen any good mints, and it's become very oversaturated. And people are starting to really focus on Solana. Besides, of course, Lost Poets did well. And even on Solana, though, it's starting to become oversaturated because there's so many 10,000, plus NFTs in each collection. And what's kind of interesting now is that you'll see competition. And by competition, I mean, because it's so oversaturated, now new NFT projects are starting to decrease price per NFT. So, for example, went from 5 to 4, 3. Now we're seeing the new standard is 2 SOL. And also on top of that, NFT creators have started to decrease their collection size from 10,000 NFTs to now 5,000. And why do I think this is competition? Well, because by setting a new standard and trying to undercut the rest of the people, you're sort of making them look greedy. So if me and if everyone sets the new standard by competition to 2 SOL and 5,000 NFTs, but you still set yours to 4 SOL and 10,000, it creates a narrative that, hey, that guy's just being greedy. He just wants your money. They all want your money. But so it's kind of interesting. Now, I know Soul Snacks, they did it for free, but that was kind of because they messed up things. I don't expect NFT projects to do free mints, but I think that probably we'll start seeing some 1 SOL projects. Because, I mean, you guys also have to remember this. 1 Solana token is still like $150, $160. Like I know you see 2 SOL, you're like, oh, that sounds like nothing. That's over $300. So you have to realize how much you're paying. I am very, 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 very bullish on Rogue Sharks. It's coming out soon. They still haven't announced an official date, but they said that they're partnering with Radium as far as I guess as part of their lottery system. So very bullish on them. I can almost guarantee you it's not confirmed, but it's so obvious. so obvious. It's literally the same artist. Like the art is literally the same as DGen Ape Academy, and they have a good sense of humor on Twitter. So they have a strong cult following as well. I have my eyes laser focused on that. I will be minting as many as possible, but I will also say this: Soul Snatchers, an NFT project on Solana, they sold out in 7 seconds. Okay, 7 seconds, super hyped. And the same day until now, they're below floor price. At the same time, Galactic Geckos, they sold out in 10 minutes. It was very easy for everyone to mint. You could mint as many as you want. So they sold out in 10 minutes. And right now, they're about 7x mint price. So it's a very interesting time right now. You're starting to see things that do not sell out. You're starting to see things that don't have real hype. Be careful. A lot of times you'll join a Discord and it'll have 20,000 people, but when it comes time to mint time, there's like 60 active people. That's why anytime someone asks me, "Oh, are you gonna mint this?" I always tell them it depends on the hype minutes before, because this sounds silly, but I'll go in the Discord, and when they mute everything and open the announcements channel and post saying, "Hey, get ready, we're about to drop," and I see like 20 people, PogChamp or use some type of excited emote, then I'm like, okay, well, where the fuck's the hype? Like I want to see 200 people spamming some weird emote. That's just one way I check for hype. So I don't know if there are fake users in Discord being added or whatever. So really evaluate the hype, and if you're really not sure, let it start minting for a little bit, right? See how fast the total supply is left. That's what I did for Solians. Solians had a lot of hype. It was going to be the first NFT project, or in DAO NFT project, and the first NFT project on. Keep forgetting that NFT space game on Solana, and they went from 10,000 and they maxed out where they still had 6,000 left. So I'm really glad I didn't mint, because they're not going to sell out. So they're not going to sell out. Why the hell are you going to buy it on the secondary market when you can mint your own, right? So those are all indicators I'm looking for. I'm not someone to ever think that the NFT bubble is bursting. I think NFTs are here to stay. I'm a long-term NFT maxi. There's a lot of utility, especially for games and stuff. But I think the theme for this week is just make sure you really evaluate the hype, and do your due diligence as always. And don't be a mindless ape where you're just minting just because you can. Just really make sure that this has a lot of hype and it's going to sell out, because if it sells out, then you have a better chance of making your money. Because I guarantee you, if there's still a crap ton left to mint, no one wants your shitty NFT on the secondary market when they can mint one for floor price. If they're going to buy yours, they'll buy it at the mint price or lower. So, but that's all I had for this week, Dennis.
Yeah, that's a good summary. Just so you guys know, like myself, Viperr, Luke, we've been kind of jumping in a lot of these Solana NFT mints. You can see their profile pictures are already like Viper's is the Galactic Gecko, Luke's is this seal one that I wasn't in. But so far, what I can say and I observe is NFTs on Solana, the experience with the minting, it is smooth. It's kind of by design of what the chain enables is no gas wars competition, not really any heavy botting that you can really see and feel on ETH with gas prices going up and the website just lagging. And also right after that, listing on secondary, the leading marketplace is Solana Art for these. It works well, and like there's can be tons of trading just like right after. So I don't know. Like I think it could be one of those features where Solana really shines for this.
Yeah, as far as the botting, and I'll just say it quickly, they use something called Candy Machine. And what Candy Machine does is it makes people mint one by one. It adds, fairness to the equation, kind of helps with bots. And also the way Solana blockchain works is that there's no like NFT mint contract. Like it's random each time. So and also if you're not familiar with Solana, You don't set your gas or gas limit price. You just click confirm. So these are all unique aspects to Solana, and all reasons why I'm really bullish on Solana. So yeah.
Yeah. So so far, yeah, it's actually I just started to try Solana for these mints for the past 2 weeks. So far, so good. Like much smoother experience than on the ETH. So even though the projects so far that are launching are still just profile pictures, but still that good experience is already contributing to some pretty decent launches, right? Despite whatever the price might be, right? Whatever they promise with distributing these profile picture NFTs to tons of people and listing secondary, like that all works. So look out for this overall. We do share quite a bit of these mints in the NFT chat, but I wouldn't call these necessarily gems because it's really hard to tell which ones will just drop below mint versus which ones will do like a 6x, right? We did both the Soul Snatchers and the Galactic Gecko. The Soul Snatchers are below mint, while Galactic Geckos are like 6x. We have no idea why. So yeah, it's just it's very risky still. But at least you're not like getting wrecked on gas fees. So that's something better than
Exactly.
yeah. Cool. So thanks for that, Viperr. Let's move on to Mahi. So Mahi, what's up? What do you have in mind? What are you watching in Polkadot / Kusama land this week? Any new Kusama crowd loans that just finished?
Oh yeah, so I actually have a lot of different things to talk about today.
Okay.
So first of all, Basilisk won the 8th parachain slot auction. As we all predicted, they had exactly 222,222 KSM. And for the first time in crowd loan history, we have a serious upset. This week, Parallel made a major push. Parallel, otherwise known as Heiko Network, they made a major push for their crowd loan, and it worked. They gained another 100,000 KSM to pass up Altair, who has been the clear favorite to win number 9 for a while now. With Parallel on track to win number 9, the questions become who will win the final announced auction. Kintsugi also saw great success with their crowd loan. Since I mentioned it here last week, their total has gone from 40K to 100,000, which is a 150% increase. At the time of writing, Kintsugi sits a modest 3,000 KSM behind Altair. I kind of want to check what it's at now.
Kintsugi's at 137.7 KSM. Altair is at 142K.
Yeah, so about 4,000 now.
Yeah, pretty close.
Yeah. So I supported both of these projects, just to be transparent. I've supported both of these projects and introduced both of them here. But if I had to pick one, because for now there only can be one, if I had to pick one project that is best to win the 10th slot, I would say it had to be Kintsugi. Bringing a synthetic Bitcoin to Kusama, the Kusama ecosystem is integral to the future adoption of the ecosystem and retail attention. Additionally, Kintsugi introduces lucrative ways to use Bitcoin Liquid to fund projects. That said, Altair is very solid, and I wouldn't mind if they were to win the 10th slot because both satisfy kind of an unexplored niche for Kusama parachains. You can decide which ones you want. I've talked about them both in prior crowd loans, prior community calls. Both crowd loans are still open, so depends which one.
What does Altair do again? Just so I kind of forget already.
Kind of like leveraging real world assets on the blockchain.
Okay.
And then there's a couple things I wanted to talk about. Back on that thread about Kintsugi, we saw a couple other projects like Dan from Karura, who's a big guy at Karura. He was openly supporting Kintsugi. I'm just trying to explain my reasoning for why I think Kintsugi's might be the better option than Altair. And also Bifrost SALP supporting Kintsugi was Bifrost. That really helped their crowd loan, gaining 150% this week. We talked about that last week, and Bifrost does not support Altair, so I don't know. I was also looking through some where is it? I was also looking through some data about average KSM delegated per contributor. So as we know, Kilt won the sixth auction. So they had an average of 18 KSM contributed per contributor, which if you think about it, that's pretty high. Like that's like 6K.
$6,000, yeah.
Yeah. Calamari was 11, Vasquez 11, Heiko 11. But something I found interesting, or Heiko's 15. Something I found interesting is Kintsugi, the average is 29 KSM.
The whales
So
back this.
yeah, the whales. That's why I think a lot of people from maybe projects like Karura, Shiden, I think their community, those community of whales are coming together to support Kintsugi, and you see them shilling Kintsugi. So I would not be surprised if it ends up passing up Altair. And Altair, on the complete opposite, has an average contribution of 8.
Oh, okay.
So 28 versus 8. So you can see a clear
Yeah,
difference.
then I'd back Kentucky. I was just going to say, like, narrative wise, the whole kind of connecting real world assets to DeFi, that narrative, it's TradFi really likes it, but it's not popular because it pretty much never worked well in DeFi, in crypto.
Yeah.
So,
So also some pretty interesting news that I really wasn't expecting. The winner of the 7th auction, Calamari, they were supposed to conduct an IDO on Miso on September 22nd.
okay.
2 days before it was set to start, they just canceled it entirely. I was completely puzzled when I saw that. But I watched their video. Basically, how the story goes is the IDO was announced, which for whatever reason angered the community, and then they held a vote, which was completely overrun by bots. So it wasn't really a legitimate vote at all. But despite that, they still went ahead and canceled the IDO because, as they said, not all of the community was on board. That was pretty peculiar to me. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't like a little bit mad about it, because obviously they haven't distributed their KMA tokens, and I think a Miso IDO was a great idea for them, and it would have been good for the token and the community. So
It would have been a little bit more sold, right? So it really depends on the tokenomics there. But okay.
Yeah, I don't completely understand that part, I'll be honest.
As long as they don't delay any. What was so I'm guessing, like with the IDO that they planned, right after the IDO it would be listing on Sushi.
Yeah, I think
so as long as, if their plan is okay, we skip the IDO and directly with the same day list on Sushi, then that's probably a better route.
Yeah, but they're
tokenomics wise. But
I
yeah,
don't think
they don't.
I don't think they are doing that.
Okay, yeah, if they're gonna skip like confirm listing day, then that's that's.
It was supposed to be the 22nd, and right now they're just I think they're working something out. They have this thing called What's Up Wednesdays, and they're just trying to unite the community or something. But yeah, we'll see what happens with that.
Okay, buy the dip.
Yeah, they should.
It's time.
But in other news, I'm actually very excited to say I have some Polkadot parachain auction news. This has to do with Akala.
Okay.
Still, there's no announcement regarding when the next batch of auctions are, or even when they will be from Polkadot. Like I said, I don't expect to hear that until a couple weeks after the 10th auction on Kusama concludes. But Akala did open a wait list for their Polkadot crowd loan. Joining the waitlist entitles you to a 10% bonus once the crowd loan starts. To me, this is a kind of a no-brainer. I think Akala will repeat the success of Karura that Karura had with Kusama and win the first Polkadot parachain slot auction. Very, very strong project. Whether you want to join the whether you want to join the crowd loan or not, just join the wait list. There's no obligation at all. You're just giving them your email, and that entitles you to some crowd loan. You're securing some crowd loan contribution and a bonus up to 10%, which is no small number.
All right, time to buy DOT.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking about this like yesterday, I think, because I think it was maybe 2.5 weeks ago. Someone told me that like the DOT GitHub has been moving around showing like progress for the DOT slot auctions, and then obviously as well that it should be soon, like after KSM crowd loans, which ends in a week, and then after that, the thing to come is probably DOT auctions instead of more KSM auctions. I doubt that they will try to put all those together. That'd be weird. I don't think they'll do both chains together, because then like you're kind of separating the buying demand. So and another thing is like seeing how fast KSM got priced in following the crowd loan, like even the schedule coming out. DOT will be priced in even faster, so I think it's pretty much time to start getting DOTs, assuming like maybe maximum a month before we hear of schedule. I think maybe not maximum, but like pretty reasonable for the next month to have some sort of schedule, I think.
Yeah, so I put the link to the crowd loan in events chat, and it's been in Polka Gems for about a week now.
That's true.
So Akala's like, they do like everything: lending, borrowing, Karura swap, liquid KSM, liquid stablecoin, literally everything. I think it goes without saying the best DeFi hub on Kusama thus far. Is Karura. So yeah, like I said, there's no obligation at all. You just give them your email, and yeah. So I gave this a shout on Monday. It's about 10,000 participants, and I'm like very, very happy to say I think there's like 120,000 participants now.
Yeah, 117,000.
Yeah, so that is far, far more than any crowd loan on Kusama. Like I think most of these crowd loans on Kusama have about maybe 12,000 contributors.
Yeah.
And I was like, that upholds my point that Polkadot parachain auctions are gonna go crazy. They're gonna be the turning point in the ecosystem.
Yeah.
So don't miss out on this Akala one. This is the first waitlist we've seen. This is the first anything crowd loan related to Polkadot. And Akala is always one step ahead of the game. So don't miss out. This waitlist is gonna have to close at some point.
What's DOT price like right now? I wonder. Yeah, keep going. Let me just check this so I don't forget. You got anything else in that ecosystem? What's your plan for right now?
For
anything? What? Just have you started accumulating DOT at all?
Yeah, I actually did. I bought DOT. Like I said, I saw that on Monday. So immediately I signed up for the thing, posted the link here, and then started buying DOT. And I actually bought some Karura token too, which hasn't been that good because I mean the whole market's down. But
yeah,
Karura will benefit from a great success of Akala. So yeah, that's basically what I did in response to that. And I think DOT's just, I mean, it always has been a solid hold. I don't know. It's not too volatile. And that's basically all. Covered crowd loans, Calamari IDO, and the Akala waitlist.
Oh man, this is gonna be hot. Okay. I mean, price-wise, this is interesting. It's kind of head and shoulders right now. So, it's giving us an opportunity. I'm probably gonna wait a little bit more. Probably like low 20s to buy dots. But yeah, it's gonna be. I think by time that dot auction started, it price is most likely going to be all-time high already. So yeah. Okay. Thanks for that, Mahi. Appreciate it. I think it's been working super well for us thus far. It's honestly quite easy to play this, right? We've very early, way before the September crowd loans for KSM started. We've been in KSM for the entire month. Now that's finished, and KSM has had its run, right? Probably still more upside for the next week, and but we can play it the same way with DOT, with these crowd loans. Yeah, I'm excited for this. Awesome. Okay, thanks for that, Mahi. Let's move on to Luke. So, Luke, what's up? What do you have for us this week?
Hey, how's it going, guys? We have a couple of building narratives this week that I've seen. I think the first is one of the more interesting ones that I've seen. In the wake of China's regulatory and banning exchanges and people using exchanges, we've seen a pump in some decentralized projects. So like ones that we've seen are like GMX. We've seen DXDY, which I think is another
derivatives.
Yeah. And Sushi even had a nice little bump up here recently. I think this narrative is going to grow. This is kind of a narrative that I have faith in, and I don't know if this decentralized. I don't know if this is a building narrative or if this narrative just got a quick bump because of the regulatory pressure in China. So I'm kind of still sitting on the sidelines, and I'm waiting for either a pullback or some of these projects to rally past their local resistances. So I kind of have a bit more direction. So yeah, that's one thing that I'm really watching are these decentralized projects. So I'm definitely keeping an eye out there, but I'm not rushing in. Another narrative that I've seen build up this week is oh, we lost Dennis. Hello, Dennis.
He's gone.
Okay, so they can't hear me.
Yo, I'm back. No, they can hear you. I just ran to the bathroom.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think I agree with you with the decentralized narrative, but it's kind of the regulatory crackdown and I don't think it's directly actionable with just decentralization focused projects.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting that you bring up GMX. So like GMX and Perpetual Protocol and DYDX, these are all GMX is very small, to be honest, but mostly Perpetual Protocol and DYDX are kind of derivatives exchange built on layer 2s. So like if you think of Binance Futures or BitMEX, or Bybit, those type of things, they are alternatives but decentralized, so like a DEX. I've been thinking, I had some brief thoughts about this narrative because so far they are strong. Like Perp is on XDAI, and they are kind of the biggest TVL leader in XDAI. And then DYDX, actually, I don't know which chain they are on, but I think they use ZK rollups. So I'm not sure which chain though, but it's a layer 2 as well, like kind of one of those scaling ones that are not like a EVM side chain. This is a narrative that's I don't know how related it is to how centralized exchanges are being kind of pressured, but yeah, I don't know if the narrative is clearly just decentralization projects, because there's a lot of that. You can argue like DAOs or
Yeah, so I think the
certain
ones that I've
protocols.
seen with the most momentum are these perp exchanges, right? So GMX, DYDX,
Yeah.
and I think Sushi even has leveraging. So, or Sushi does have a leveraging.
Wait, do they? What's
Not.
the?
I just mean like lending and borrowing, and then.
Oh, good point.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
So,
okay, yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah.
I think it's just kind of more like it's just the trading that's really been popping off. It's not so much the lending that I've seen, but it's just these the ones with the real momentum have been the
I see what you mean. Yeah. So it's
any
leverage
DEX.
DEXs, right?
Yes, any DEX,
That has
but
high
particularly
leverage.
ones with leverage. Yeah.
Yeah, this actually is a really good point, because you know how Spell has been popping, right? But one of the key features they had is like easy leveraging through their borrowing, right? So typically there are two types of leverage DEXs, right? One is like derivatives like DYDX, etc. It's just a perp contract where you have people longing and people shorting. So this is like DYDX and perp
GMX.
protocol, GMX as well, right? So and then you have the other case where it's like, okay, technically speaking, you can do leverage, let's say on ETH through Aave. So you would like buy ETH and then you would deposit it as collateral in Aave, borrow stablecoin, and then use that stablecoin to buy ETH again, put it in Aave again. So like if you do this multiple times, you can achieve leverage at a certain decently high count of X's. But it wasn't that easy, right? So there are like DApp kind of automation tools like InstaDApp that does this for you through Aave, through Compound. But Mim or Spell does this like within the app. So if you go on the Spell app, I'll probably show you guys like on here, abracadabra.money. So they have a very similar protocol to say Aave, but instead of just letting you, borrow with like, let's say ETH collateral, it allows you to like borrow multiple times in one transaction. So to achieve leverage already. Let me connect wallet here. It doesn't work. So technically that counts as leveraged DEXs, right? Because you can achieve up to 10x leverage, let's say on an ETH long, just with this app alone in a decentralized way. So yeah, this is and a bit of reasoning for that is like Binance, BitMEX, and Bybit, all these futures exchanges, they got super pressured, right? So they can only they used to have 50 to 100x leverage for all traders, but now it's like, what, 3x, 5x? I don't know what the number is, but it's much
they've
lower.
really cut it down. And then each time we've seen them cut it down. From what I recall, we've seen a pump in these decentralized lending protocols. So like I think the US started to crack down like earlier this year, and then we saw a 10% pump or whatever. And then kind of the same thing with this more recent China narrative is like with the crackdown, we've seen another pump up. So I don't know if it's going to die back down or if it's going to be a building narrative. That's the only.
Well, I don't think. Okay, Binance. What's their? Let's just take the biggest, pretty much the biggest futures exchange, right? Binance futures leverage. What is? I know it used to be 100 to 125x. What is the
capped at
okay?
20
it's 20x.
Now? Yeah.
Okay. So before the 120, 100x was also only limited to if you had like a few $1,000s worth. Most of the time, I know I've traded sizes in like between 200K to $1 million in your margin, and for that you can only do like 3 to 5x max. I think if you had $1 million in collateral, you could do like a 2x, maybe 3x. You couldn't even do 4 plus, I think.
Yeah, I think even like KuCoin is like 5x or 10x if you're non KYC.
Yeah, so I think this 20x is probably something like up to $10,000.
So just putting some more numbers behind it.
Yeah.
With lending and borrowing protocols, I was kind of thinking, oh, maybe lending and borrow protocols might be up too. They're up 4%. DEXs are up 12%, but perpetuals are up 33% today. So I think perpetuals have obviously taken a big leap.
You mean that all across DEXs comparison? Yeah,
so I'm on CoinGecko and I'm able to look by category. And so the leaders right now are DYDX, Perpetual, Injective, GMX, Futures did well recently, and Sake token, which is a $2 million market cap token. So I'm probably going to be buying that now.
Interesting.
Can I get wrecked on Sake?
Yeah, I can probably find trading rules here across. So yeah, here. So if you are on, let's say, Binance Futures, right? This is USD. Yeah, so what the hell? That's not. No, that's not this one. Okay, it's probably showing me over next to it, blah 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 blah. Yeah, I'll probably have to log in, but you get the idea. Like as you go up the leverage here, it's not just like, okay, however much amount you want, right? At some point you see up, once you're out after 20x, right? Your maximum position is $1 million. So like for the big whales, they can't do it. And I know this is much lower for most other coins. Like for example, like ETH, I think it's you can't even do a 5x for 1 million position size. So yeah, it used to be much higher. So this is kind of a crackdown, and I want to see the exchanges data there you just mentioned.
Yeah, so to make it quick. Yeah, so DEXs were one of them. I'll give you the number here. Perpetuals are 42 in ranking.
Sorry, 40.
DEXs were a little bit higher up.
Where do you? What's the page you're looking at?
I'm on categories. So I go to coins and then go to categories.
Categories, okay.
And then I think, yeah, automated AMMs are up 15%. DEXs are up 12%, lending and borrowing 4%. And then if you go down to rank 42, there's perpetuals.
Last 7 days. Wait a second. Okay, 7 days growth. This is coins market cap growth within that.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't know how. Yeah, because you can exclude and include coins in this. So, okay, but yeah, percentage growth is probably, it makes sense. So if we rank by 24 hours is growing a lot. Okay, what do they have in perpetuals?
Yes, I mean they only have a small basket, so I mean that plays a big factor also. But a lot of clear performers were.
What the
I don't think you
Sake?
can necessarily. Yeah. I'll be buying that crap in low cap gems later. So,
interesting. Yeah, I've seen people look at these charts. Holy shit! These.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Huh.
But yeah, I don't know if this is going to be a quick bump or if this is going to be a narrative that builds. So, yeah, I'm kind of still hanging out because I don't want to be buying tops right now for a 20% pullback.
I know that. Actually, I don't know. Yeah, but I know Perp doesn't have these still don't have the best market cap to TVL ratios among DeFi. They are pretty much the lowest bunch. But maybe it's volume if we can see that on Token Terminal, maybe. But I'll dive into a little bit deeper. Just so that we don't skip any other narratives. So let's move on to the next narrative.
Yeah, the next narrative is bridging protocols. Yeah, not much originality from Friday, but these bridging protocols have been popping off recently. Like we all kind of got the meme token like good bridging, and I think when people started to actually look into the stats behind these bridging protocols, they like particularly like GB. They started to realize that revenue was like if you took account the revenue, a lot of the protocols were pretty undervalued, and since we've kind of
where are you seeing the revenue? Token Terminal.
This is just something the DeFi Brian. I remember
okay,
yeah, he highlighted it the other day, and I saw someone else highlight it prior to that also. So yeah, I didn't do much investigation by myself.
Most likely Token Terminal if you're talking about revenue. But go ahead. I'll try to find a couple examples.
Dune Analytics just updated all their bridging stuff too. So nice. Yeah, so this kind of goes back to like our omnichain narrative that we've kind of been building. So we have to bridge to these networks if we want to keep everything decentralized. So like if Viperr were to, buy BNB, and if he wants to bring it over to Binance Smart Chain, he has to bridge because he can't buy in an exchange in the US. So, and it kind of goes back to our like regulatory decentralization narrative that we just highlighted. I think we're going to see a little bit of a growing narrative in the bridging protocols, but I don't think all of them are going to make it. There's definitely a surplus, and there's some clear winners that I've seen. I think I think AnySwap is definitely doing one of the best. Synapse has also been popping off a lot recently. I don't know too much about Synapse, so I'm kind of going into the
I plan to make a video about this today. Like Synapse is just there's just one thing that's really cool for them is this Arbitrum pool. Yeah. So like if you use the Arbitrum bridge, you put your ETH in whatever token, and you have to wait for 7 days challenge period before you get it back. This one is like they kind of have this good design where I have to switch Arbitrum here, but so like there are people on Arbitrum providing NETH, and there are people on ETH providing ETH in liquidity, and then people just directly trade in this pool. So I don't know like much more technically speaking, but this enables basically instant trading between ETH on mainnet and ETH on Arbitrum, and it's one of the easiest to understand and fastest growing solutions, because like this liquidity has grown, I think 3x over the past week, maybe not even a week. I think last time I saw it was like 50 million ish. So because APY used to be like 50%, right around 50 million TVL. So it's a solution where like anyone can participate, and it feeds into the loop, and so it's ease of use and liquidity. But I don't think it's these other pools. These were here for the longest time, and I think this protocol used to be called Nerve, and used to be
Synapse's Nerve.
Yeah, so
they rebranded.
So it used to be like kind of like Curve 3 pool, but on BSC and on Anchor, I think. I think they used to have UST, but now they rebranded to this kind of bridge, and not just stable coins, but instead like multi-chain bridges with the same technology. Good move. I don't think it's particularly that interesting for these other chains because the Avalanche bridge, Polygon bridge, BSC bridge, they work independently pretty well. But for Arbitrum, like if there is, for whatever chains that don't have a good bridge, like this is a good one. So yeah, that's signups. Yeah, I have signups. I just bought them yesterday. I don't know. I think the narrative makes sense. They're one of the fastest movers in this. I think like Alameda or some of the FTX gang is behind Nerve. Don't quote me on that, but yeah. Also 3AC bought into signups. If you can check them on Nansen, so you can follow their wallet. Yeah. Any other bridges you think are interesting?
You know, I remember when I was going over bridges, like there were a couple that were like, and some were more so interesting than others. But I have to go back and I have to go relearn all this. I know Card Farm is yeah, it's just there's too much stuff to learn. I have to get back with Card Farm because he definitely knows a lot of this stuff more than me. So I'm going to get back with him and I'm going to go through these bridging protocols more and kind of look at the tech behind them, because I do think there's some clear winners, and then there's going to be some people who kind of just put out a token and people are believing in it and pumping it. So yeah, I'm definitely I want to do more research before I buy in, but yes, Synapse definitely looks to be the leader right now. And then I only expect the omnichain narrative to grow. So anything else you want to highlight there?
I mean, I know AnySwap is good tech, but
AnySwap,
yeah. So like three I know is like Synapse, AnySwap, Seller. Seller's already like pumped like super high in this bridge narrative. I think AnySwap, it hasn't moved much, but it's their tokenomics design might be a little bit like pulled too farm heavy. Yeah, so you need, yes, in order to participate in a network and be a validator and run a node for the bridge, you have to hold any. But I don't know, like if the inflation is necessarily is being eaten up by the demand, because yeah, I don't know. That might be why like they haven't really popped off, even though they literally bridge everywhere and support so many projects. But nonetheless, they're one of the leaders in this narrative. Yeah, new one called Hop, also very interesting. I don't think their token is out yet.
Yeah, Hopper's been around for a little while.
Yeah,
and I think that one is one of the ones that Card Farm really liked.
I don't think it's Hopper. I think it's just Hop.
Oh, okay.
I think they're different. Yeah, Hop protocol. Hopper is like a privacy thing, I think. Let me just make sure. Yeah, see, this one is privacy. It's not Hopper. It's Hop protocol. Hop exchange.
Yeah. Is it a Pink Bunny?
Yeah, Pink Bunny thing.
Okay, I think I'm thinking of the right one though.
Yeah, so this one you can use it. I haven't checked this actually. Yeah, so you can send, let's say, your USDC from ETH to Arbitrum back and forth.
So the Optimism team recommends using the Hop exchange. Like, I don't know if they have or partnered with them or whatnot, but they have said multiple times in their Discord to just use Hop exchange for ease. But if you want to save fees. It's bridge there using their bridge, but bridge back using Hop Exchange. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of bridges. It's just kind of picking and choosing the right ones. Even like the cross-chain bridges, I think, like dexes, cross-chain dexes. So this might give Sushi a little bit of a push to make like a cross-chain dex. They're already set up on all these chains, right? And I think it's something that people have already kind of been anticipating. It's just kind of when they're going to roll it out. So maybe like Sushi might team up with one of these bridging protocols even, or release their own native bridge. But yeah, I think Sushi's like it kind of just goes back to the omnichain narrative. I think they fit in really well to it. So yeah, kind of moving on to
what else you got?
Greater to like the omnichain narrative, like like there's Sushi, because like I think this past week we've seen it kind of really pop off and the narrative grow, and it's kind of supported my conviction in it a little bit. So like Sushi's popped off here recently due to the China FUD and yeah, mainly due to the China FUD, I think. One of the coins I'm interested in looking into more, and I think I'm just going to buy it outright here pretty soon, is going to be ICE. They're currently not live yet, but they're going to be a cross-chain AMM yield aggregator. So they're going to optimize their yields across dexes. So correct me if I'm wrong, but Yearn Finance aggregates your liquidity among a lot of top protocols rather than just one, and rather than just dexes. So this ICE, yeah. So ICE is maybe not the most unique in that regard, but it is going to be a cross-chain yield aggregator for these dexes. So it is the it does fit the cross-chain narrative. It's the same dev as Spell, Daniel Sesta, and so we've kind of seen him. He's almost his own narrative in his own right, with kind of how much he's been pushing Spell and how much he's on Twitter and involved in the community. So ICE still doesn't have its audits complete yet, and its token is live, so you can buy the token if you're willing to gamble on the audits. But if these audits pass, I think Spell is going to do pretty nicely. ICE. Yes, ICE is going to do pretty nicely in these coming weeks. I think, I hope. So
yeah, so the whole thing with them is like they launched once already and they got hacked, and then they are doing a bunch of way more audits, like ton, and then like bounty program, etc. Yeah, so I have it. I've talked about it like kind of for the past week. It's I don't know which will be the winner, but there's a very limited number of like these ones that are cross-chain LP aggregators. So there are ones that support UniV3. You should have a couple of those. So Popsicle is kind of probably the best one that will actually like try to do this very dedicatedly. And then you have some other ones that just find the best pools across multiple chains. I think Beefy, we talked about it last week. That's probably the leader in that space. And then you have new ones that are popping up soon. Pretty much very focused on V3 liquidity aggregation, UniV3. There's one called Tea House, which is like still in development. They haven't even launched their project yet. But yeah, so it's Popsicle is very aggressive because it's like it's both Uni v3 and other chains. So yeah, they're kind of probably the most comprehensive and ambitious. It's not live yet. Just like the narrative is like not even there yet, but I think it's coming. But yeah, I have both Popsicle and Beefy. I don't see too many options out there public yet, but yeah, that's kind of how I feel.
Last week, but Yearn Finance is also going to be upping. In V3, they're going to be cross-chain.
I still haven't found anything like that. Yearn Finance V3. Like I only found a
Yeah, we did talk about this last week, didn't we?
front end. Yeah, I only found a front end for it. I'm not sure where you're seeing cross-chain.
Okay.
Like like where, if you can send like a link for what they are planning for V3, like
it's been really just kind of teased here and there. Yeah, there hasn't been too much concrete. There hasn't been too much concrete info on it. Yeah, on Twitter, and a lot of the vocabulary that they've released, and yeah, so
let's see here.
Nothing too concrete yet on this, but away from so Yearn Finance has been the stablecoin for DeFi practically. It's like USDT, USDC and Yearn Finance. They haven't moved out of their range for quite a while, and but I've seen kind of this. I've seen a lot of talk around Yearn Finance being undervalued, a lot the same way I've seen like sushi be undervalued. So it just kind of got added to Token Terminal, and it's it has the lowest price to earnings ratio and lowest price to sales ratio. I think I want to do, yeah. So I think we might see. I'm kind of just hoping here, but I'm hoping with this next with FTM's liquidity mining and incentives, and yeah, sorry, I'm going off into deep water.
No, just
here.
yeah, finish your thought.
Kind of with Andre Cormier is going to definitely release this onto FTM first, and with these liquidity mining rewards, like I think FTM is going to definitely see a good rise before the end of the year, along with like AVAX. So I kind of think if Andre Cormier continues to plug away at building up his chain and building up this his FTM vision, more or less, then I'm willing to bet on Yeefi. I know I didn't say that well at all, but yeah. So Andre Cormier is also going to be releasing a cross-chain NFT marketplace, right? So
yeah, that's live.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Yeah, that's live, right?
Yes. So we've definitely seen him ramp up his how much he's been building and ship posting recently. So yeah, I think we're going to see kind of some more plays come out of the Yearn Finance ecosystem.
Okay, I'm reading more into this. If you can digest it with me, I think it's we need actually something more practical for this. Because so what are they trying to do with V3? There's a new front end, and they have this SDK. So right off the bat, they're going to support Phantom, but is it officially that they're going to be on AVAX, like any other, Polygon BSC, all the other chains? doesn't say that, but they did say multi-chain future in mind. So with that, they said that there is a Yearn SDK, which is let's see. So anyone can just build a front end like this, right? To see, okay, like which chain is it, where are the vaults and strategies, and what their APYs and their TVLs are. But let's see. So they have a series of so they have subgraphs that will be kind of more it'll be open source. So subgraphs are ways to query like on-chain data. So for example, if you have a curve3 pool that's forked everywhere to the mim3 pool, for example, and then you have other LP like UniV2 like standard farms that are forked by most projects. You need subgraphs to query the data to actually feed into what you see on screen here with the APY, with how much you're staking, the total value, how much rewards you have, right? So there's very standard contracts, and Yearn is doing standard subgraphs, so to help other developers to incorporate this into their kind of front ends to show okay, different types of farms. So that helps. That's part of their SDK. And what else is here? What is this lens thing? Yearn's new SDK is the engine that powers our V3 website, and the front end was specifically designed around consuming data from the SDK. SDK aggregates on-chain, off-chain data to serve front ends and B2B integrations by fetching data from Lens, Explorer, Subgraph, Meta, and Zapper. Okay. So with all of this integrated, V3 uses all of this to make the front end better for their existing vaults on ETH, and probably will show how it works on Phantom. And then what else are they trying to do here? Yeah, it doesn't say anything. Let's see, chain. Yearn's Lens is a group of contracts that aggregates. Okay, no, multi-chain. No, doesn't say any multi-chain thing here except for the vision. So yeah, I wouldn't bet on them moving multi-chain aside from Phantom. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Okay, maybe I'm kind of just drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit.
It is there. It's what we want is we know what we want. It's like a multi-chain Yearn that supports everything. Doesn't sound like they want to. Let's see if anyone else have better takes. These are pretty old takes. What is this? Yeah, I really wish I can find a base model championship for Phantom Network. Okay, so this is just a recent commit. When was this? 2 days ago. Okay. Feature based multi support. Your finance V3. Fetch all tokens and never change wallet, never change handle, multi-chain transaction support. Yeah, so this is public, right? So it's pretty typical Yearn way. So basically what they're doing is okay, we have all of this infra and SDK. So the front end, the subgraphs, showing all the data, making it easy to adapt to multiple EVM chains. But we like Phantom the most, we as in Yearn. So We're going to deploy this on Phantom first, along with our ETH. But code is all public right here. So if you want to do it, like, go ahead and do it on AVAX. So that's kind of what they're doing. It really doesn't say at all that they are going to be very multi-chain, but maybe that's just them keeping it in, under the hood first.
Yeah.
But okay, I think something practical is like, even they recognize, despite their favorite pick as Phantom, even they know that, okay, there's going to be multi-chains, right? So like, no point fighting it, right? Like, the technology, if we don't do it, someone will reverse engineer. So let's just do, open source it, and then we pick Phantom, like, we invest in Phantom, but like, okay, if you want to do it on AVAX, here's the code. So I think it further solidifies our thesis, and kind of our narrative thesis is this multi-chain farms. Yearn agrees. It doesn't necessarily mean Yearn is going to be completely multi-chain very quickly, because they have favorite picks, but that's something we can agree on. So now it's a matter of, okay, how do we invest in this? I wouldn't necessarily say they won't do multi-chain very quickly, but they haven't said anything. So yeah, I'd probably do Yearn in that list as well. So multi-chain farms, like potentially Yearn, but then we also have like ICE or Popsicle Finance. We have like something like Beefy, which is like just very publicly since day one, since they started on BSC. So they move very quickly to multi-chains. They're not necessarily the best technology, but they're the fastest mover. Yeah, so I wouldn't write Yearn off. Yeah, so good catch there. There's a decent chance that they will just like come out with V3 and then 5 chains all at once. Maybe, who knows?
It's kind of what I would like to see, but
they haven't said it, but maybe that if they do, Yearn's like gonna double in a day. So
yeah. I don't know. You talked me down a little bit too. I think maybe they will kind of be more reserved at first, and maybe kind of just branch out to FTM before branching out elsewhere. But Andre Cornia is kind of really aggressive building at time, and I think right now is kind of like he's trying to fuck up the OpenSea. He's doing a loot derivative. Like he's really building a lot, and then he's rolling out V3, which I'm sure he's not the sole dev, but it's just kind of like, okay, stuff's going on right now, so it might be worth kind of betting on what's not popping off just in case. So I do want to still bet on FTM and be in that ecosystem as well. So
I think betting on FTM, we've seen how to successfully bet on AVAX, which is like AVAX itself and the leading DEX. So on FTM, it's super simple. It's like you buy FTM coin, and then since there's no leading DEX yet, you just buy Boo and Spirit, and then you wait till one of them outruns the other, and you sell the other.
Yeah.
It's
pretty easy playbook.
Yeah.
Couple native dexes, maybe a shitcoin farm or two, and then you're good.
Man, are they gonna do multi-chain? I'm so curious now. That stack is there. I've been burnt on Yearn so many times that I have this,
PTSD.
Yeah, their tech is so good, but like it's just they're two big builders that they don't really hype it up. Man, I don't know. Wouldn't write it off, but I wouldn't bet the entire farm on this. So
that being said, speaking of Andre Cornia and all this other FTM stuff, I want to get in. I don't know what their OpenSea marketplace is yet, but I really want to get on, buy some crappy NFTs, and then try to sell them off, because I'm really sure they're going to do an airdrop. So if any, I'm pretty sure.
I don't think
it's
they'll
kinda,
do an airdrop. I don't think they'll do an
No?
airdrop. Because when they made it, right? If you read the announcement, so by design, it's open source, it's easily forkable, and one of the features there was there's kind of some sort of keeping track of your accounts based on your wallet. So it's easy for projects that fork this to create a token for the marketplace. So they even said that. So I don't think they'll make an airdrop. I think they're yeah. I'll try to find it for you. But
yeah. Okay. I think I might have.
Token. It's something they said. Or something.
I think I might have just read airdrop, and I was like, cool. Got to get in on this.
Yeah. Knowing Andre Cronje, I don't know. I don't think he'll do a token like after that. What's his announcement? Where is it again? I think it's in his tweet or something. Somewhere in the official announcement here, I think. So in here, like their tech design is like, okay, easily forkable, multi-chain, as long as it's EVM, and then like easy for the other projects to fork this to make a token, is what they said, I think.
So they're kind of just giving the utilities to cool.
Yeah.
Should we have a BaconDAO NFT marketplace? Tire token into it.
Is it in this? Where is? They said it somewhere. I clearly read it, but I don't know which announcement it was. But like by design, they said, okay, yeah, like if you fork this, you can easily make a token based on like how people are using it. But if they've said it, like I don't know why they wouldn't have just made it. So I don't think
exactly.
there would be I don't think there would be a token for this. But the first person or first very legit team to fork this and take in multi-chain will probably make a token. So look out for this. Yeah, whoever forks this. Yeah. I wonder who we can follow to maybe I'll turn like, there's no official handle for it. Yeah. So if there's an official handle for the Airtion, can I turn on notifications for a Twitter tag? I don't know. Anyways, yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. If there's anything, we'll cover it first. So far, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I'll
but,
maybe.
Good to see this. Yeah, OpenSea needs the reality check. They are just, what the fuck are they doing?
They have.
They're not even addressing the phishing garbage. I have so many trash NFTs in my wallet that like I'm scared of like accidentally approving.
Yeah. And then they make 2.5% on all the transactions. Like, how are they not? How are they not buying small countries?
And they still don't support any of the chains. Like, come on! Like, it's been so long. How is it only Polygon and Clayton? Why? Like, we know you are seed investors in Clayton and Polygon. Don't make it this obvious. Like, put a couple more chains on there. So like at least we don't have one of these Airtions that just like ruins your 200, what is it, like $6 billion valuation, something like that for them. It's like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably more than that, honestly.
Yeah. Okay, so
I think that's really it for me.
Okay.
I was going to highlight Rari's permissionless borrowing so we could short some shit coins, but
Rari fits in the decentralized narrative. Rari is very decentralized.
Rari Capital, by the way. Really.
Yeah, Rari Capital. Very decentralized protocol. Very decentralized token holding too. Because I think what they launched, they didn't plan on doing so much with it. So they like just very quickly gave out the tokens, and yeah, so they don't have like the rarity, like super high inflation kind of farms. So yeah, this is one of the good protocols for this. Yeah, good pick. And so like they have this thing called Fuse, which is like lending and borrowing, right? Anyone can make a kind of Aave equivalent, but much more easily. And I think they said next few weeks they're going to completely make this permissionless, so anyone can create a pool. So we can make a Bacon pool, like you can use Bacon as collateral, borrow USDC, right? As long as there are people on the both sides. Yeah, super cool. Definitely leader in this space for a purely decentralized lending borrowing market that anyone could use. Based on TVL, like they're clearly leading in TVL. So yeah, I don't know if they're multi-chain. Are they multi-chain? I don't think they are. They're only.
I don't think so. Maybe on a like Optimism or something, but not much I've heard out of that.
Right. So they are more decentralized, as in like anyone can create a pool, but only ETH. And then you have, if you want to bet on multi-chain decentralized, there's MIM, right? So like multi-chain, multi-collateral, but like they don't just let anyone mint. But they're on many chains. So good to have both. Yeah, so maybe I'll get some Rari. Rari token is RGT, Rari Capital Governance Token. I think it's the token name.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. Let me pull it up just to be sure.
Spell. Same basket, yeah. Multi-chain.
Yeah,
farm.
RGT is their ticker.
Oh man, okay. Brain's getting burnt here.
Yeah.
There's a lot. There's a lot of place here, all around Omnichain. Farms that are not picky. So Spell and RGT. Not picky on who creates the pools or what kind of collateral is in the pool or which chain it is. Right. And then there's farm aggregators that go across all of these multiple chains and give you the best yield. So there's Yearn, maybe V3, there's Ice, and there's Beefy. I would add that on there. And then after that, we need bridges. So there's Synapse, Seller, AnySwap, Hop doesn't have a token yet. My pick in there is probably Synapse so far. Anything else we talked about?
Yeah, we talked about
leverage.
perpetuals and decentralized exchanges.
Right. So on the other side of how decentralization is working, centralized exchanges for futures markets are kind of getting cracked down. So we're seeing trading volume and TVL pop up for decentralized leverage DEXs. So DYDX, Perpetual Protocol, Injective, GMX is kind of a low cap one that fits that list. Yeah, so that's another hot narrative. Oh man, there's so many plays. So yeah, I gotta go get these.
I'm feeling a lot the same way.
Maybe now's the time to start the Enzyme Finance Fund. Maybe you could do a fund for all these. See if let's see if they support all these. Yeah, okay, it's been an hour 20 minutes. We should cut this soon.
Yeah.
Let's do a couple questions from Discord and also YouTube, and then we'll call it a day. Oh yeah, also Dot. Oh man, so many things. Okay, Discord questions. Is this call live on YouTube as well? Yes it is. On the leverage conversation, I see Celsius offering 0% APR to California right now for 20%, 25%. Yeah, I mean, that's centralized, right? So you can do that, but with how much the US is cracking down on futures, leverage, I doubt you can take out that much of a loan on Celsius to achieve as high of leverage for trading. You can still do like 2x, 3x on even just Bybit, Binance, but it's more like, okay, 10x plus type of people trading, right? Then you can't really do that through Celsius. So why hasn't the Bacon farm been topped up? Because we're doing the farm on BSC. Yeah, so those will have even higher rewards. Yeah. Yeah. Plan is next couple of days. It's completely moving over. Yes. The ETH side, fees are way too high. Not feasible. Yeah. You will need to unstake. I'm trying to find the best solution. Probably will just try to find everyone that has staked and like do a subsidy for gas fees. So yeah, for your trouble. What's up with TempleDAO? Follow it. Like it's still too early. I don't know enough to fully cover it yet. Yeah. I don't think it's a very very good opportunity, but you'll have to look into it by yourself. Yeah, it's too early. Even myself, I'm not fully knowledgeable on it yet. Okay, let's do a couple YouTube questions. Let's see. You can still leverage up BTC up to 125x, still trading their Binance futures. Why it's 125x? Send you screen. Yeah, so it really depends on where you are and position size. Probably limited to where your KYC is. That's how I would say. I would imagine it. What the fuck are you guys shilling, dude? What is all this AdaFlex garbage, man?
AdaFlex is really good. I'm kidding.
What the fuck is that?
No, I'm just joking.
Oh, it's not? Okay, yeah. What's XP network? If you're trying to spell XRP, like it's 3 letters, man. How are you not able to like, bro?
Experience point network.
Yeah, Super Chancy TV. Did you comment Lost Poets? Probably seems so cool. Yeah, I've been in for like 3 weeks now. So can you do a video on Rari? Sure. Yeah, I think it's a pretty decent. I'll probably do an overall video based on the couple narratives we talked about today. So maybe like one video for each narrative. Bridge narrative, multi-chain, multi-collateral, farms narrative, farms aggregator, multi-chain narrative, and then leverage Dexis narrative. But there's even just saying those like so much. What's the target for AVAX and Joel to start take profits? You know when the incentives will end? Probably like 2-3 months at least. AVAX, if you look at Solana, right, did 4x after all-time high. So assuming like let's say $50 all-time high for AVAX, so $200 target. Joel should at least follow AVAX. So if AVAX does 4x, I'd expect Joel to do like at least 5-6x. So when do you expect BTC to start outperforming alts? In this cycle, we really haven't seen it. So I don't expect that. I don't actually expect that. Okay, so more Q&As from Discord. Let's see. Thoughts on future poets and what angle you think it might take pages to poets, etc. So I'm targeting around 3 ETH for pages / poets floor. I got that number from kind of how Cubes did. So Cubes went from 1,500 to 15,000. No, yeah, 1,500 to 15,000. So the mint was 1.5K, and then like peak was 15K. It went up to as high as 18K, but like around 10x. So assuming like 0.32, mint for pages, right? So that's like around 3 ETH. I think that will probably only happen once we really know schedule for Sotheby's launch, right? We know there's something that they're doing with pages and poets and Sotheby's auction. We don't know specifics. We don't know how that's coming out or when that's coming out. So I think probably top will be around that level at that time. Probably will still be more upside after that, but it probably will stabilize right around then. I don't know if it's gonna be better to hold pages, better to hold poets. So there's not enough info to know. So I probably just do half poets, half pages. I do think that pages are easier to sell. So if you plan on, let's say at some point, cash out of the project, then probably sell poets first, keep pages, because even if like later on, let's say okay, it's like some floor crashes, like pages will be most liquid, right? Much more liquid than poets. So yeah, so that's what I think. Pages could be a scarcity play depending on end of 2 weeks. Yes. So yeah, after this 2 week period, right? If tons of pages are converted to poets, then yeah, pages become this consumable that's scarce. But on the other hand, if not enough pages are converted over, then you cannot convert anymore. So maybe poets are scarce, right? So, after the 2 week period, pages lose this utility of being convertible to a poet, right? So we could see some price divergence between floor poets and pages after the 2 weeks. So I don't know. So I'd probably just do half and half for now. Wait to see what happens. But yeah, I don't think it's reached its potential yet. The potential will probably be reached once we know what's happening with Sotheby's auction. Yeah, so that's how I'm playing it. Okay, this call's been long enough. Let's see if there are any good questions. Good content, by the way. What's your target on QNT? Not really any target right now, to be honest. Like, keep riding it until the higher low gives, right? So keep riding until the uptrend stops. 9 tutorial for Ohm, dude. You're like about 5 months too late. So you could literally Google that. Yeah. Wait, unless 9 is a new thing for Olympus Pro, I gotta look into that. But 3 tutorial is tons of those on the internet. It's literally just buy and stake. Canaria limited edition floor price targets. It's already about 2x of floor, so or the mint. So mint price was 2 KSM. It's around 4 KSM already. So BTC pumping right now. Would you look into the chart? Yeah, sure. Let's look at it for a quick sec. I mean, we've been looking at it for the past week. So as long as 38K holds, this was pretty much what we were betting on. Let's see here. It'd be funny if I just bring up the chart and it's, where's the pump, man? Like, don't. Oh my god. Okay, if you're gonna say it's a pump, at least zoom out of the 1 hour chart, man. Like, where's the pump? Every time, like, oh my god. It's funny because like every time there's a stream, right, and people will say, "Oh, like, look, Bitcoin is dumping," and then like they're zoomed into the 15-minute chart and like they're like. It's like, look, like Bitcoin crashed, it went down 2%, and then like, why? Zoom out, dude. But yes, I mean, we're still looking at 38K as the bottom line. So far, so good, right? Buy zone from 38 to 43. We said that like 6 times, 7 times now over the past week. Same analysis, right? So at least, let it break above 49K and then like call that a pump. Until then, like, where's the pump? I'm so confused. Yeah. Okay. So, okay. What are the best bridging plays? What the hell is it?
Synapse.
Yeah, Synapse, AnySwap, Hop, haven't had a thing live yet. Sellers too high already, and then whatever new ones come out. Yeah, so my money's on Synapse. Okay, I think that's it. Thanks, guys, for joining today's call. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pretty long call, but we covered a lot of good stuff today. If it weren't good for you guys, I mean, at least it's good for me. Do you still have any birds? Yeah, you can literally find my wallet on Dot. So I don't know, like, why you need to ask. Like, you don't need me to lie to you. I hold birds. I have them listed as well. So find my wallet on KSM. It's not that difficult. I have it verified as identity. So yeah, a lot of good stuff. Even just for me personally, but I hope you guys can find value as well. We don't want to show stuff, so like that's why we pretty much just give our honest thoughts for what we think is profitable for ourselves, and then you guys can listen. If you can understand clearly where my thought process is coming from, then that would make sense. Yeah, so thanks, guys. That's about it. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 12 p.m. PST or 7 p.m. UTC for the daily stream. That'll just be me. But yeah, check out the replay. This will be live on both YouTubes. For now, bye for now. See you guys tomorrow and on more calls.